welcome into another Still Talking episode, and today might feel a bit different, but the guest never turned up. Obviously, I found out this morning and I thought, oh my God, my world's upside down. I'm so early on in this podcasting journey and the guest let me down, the first one. But I turned it around and said, let's go and do a solo episode. Let's sit here and talk to the community and just be honest and open up and be vulnerable and be comfortable, man. Like, I was speaking just then about comfort. Like, I feel so nervous yet so excited to talk to you, but I've talked to you for so long in so many different ways through the public interview and showing different sides of me, and I feel like this is going to open me up so much. So today we're just going to free flow, get a cup of tea, get some biscuits, because that's what I always do, and just settle in and let's just talk about life, Still Gang. You know, a lot of yous will be coming over here to Still Talking, but some of yous might be new, but yous are in the Still Gang, my community, the people I create content for to entertain. Life at the minute as a 22-year-old, I don't even know, Still Gang. I don't even know. I'm achieving so much and I'm trying to act normal, yet so excited. Like, you tell me 5 years ago, I've just done a charity match with Roberto Carlos. I'm best friends with some of the best people in the world. It was so good at the job. Like, the life I am living is so like, what the hell? You know what I mean? And every time I come back to this solo episode style pod, I always think of Theo Von. Theo Von offers me comfort. And I find it so important in today's world to have that person on social media that you consume that offers you comfort. I get in my comfies and get a cup of tea and watch Theo just create and speak freely from his brain, and I feel like 5-10 minutes into this, my brain will ease out of the nerves and the tension. But what a guy. Shout out to you, Theo Von. Shout out to you for making me feel comfortable at being unique and different and allowing myself to be vulnerable when it's needed and be comic when it's needed and be me whenever I can be. Shout out to you, Theo. I wrote a few things on my laptop so I can just read off them, but sometimes, Still Gang, I just wish you were there in front of me so I could be honest in the moment and speak to you. Because sometimes it's so lonely getting and doing all these things, but sometimes it's always rewarding yet so lonely. Like, I'm surrounded by some beautiful people and they're amazing and so supportive, yet sometimes you're the only person in your own head. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but like, you know, everyone's on a mission. Everyone's doing their own thing. Everyone's living. Yet we're all alone. You know what I mean? Like, that's it's like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? We're all alone yet so on task. I feel like today's world's changing so much. Like, the socializing and like the social media, but no socializing. I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but I'm making sense in my own head, which is the important thing. Everyone's forgetting to socialise, but we're all too busy on social media. Like, if you could, would you get rid of social media to bring back socialising? I feel like sometimes people would rather have likes than a conversation. People would rather have a comment than a compliment. What? And sometimes I can be guilty of that. Am I posting just a post, or am I posting with intention? I feel like I'm rhyming in poetry right now. I don't know. Sometimes I'm stupid. Sometimes I'm smart. This is so cool, honestly. But yeah, that attention thing. It's like, what the hell? Even my mum and dad are on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok now. And they're 60 years of age. Like, it's consumed everyone. But life is full circle, and I strongly believe we will eventually get back to talking to each other. I just hope it's not too late that we don't do it in my lifetime. But this is why I probably created this. So we can promote talking to each other more in a fun way, in a cool way, getting to know each other and also learning about each other. with social media and the attention thing, it's like, do you ever think if you're enough? Do you ever question if you are enough? Like, I find it so interesting in life how, like, you can even question that. You can have 1,000 people like, comment, and appreciate you, but that one person telling you you're enough is more than that. Now, this isn't some sad, and I ain't struggling and I ain't thinking, but I'm just freeballing here and just talking the mind. You know, something we rarely get to do anymore because, like I said, I feel like so many of us are so on task and so on to tick this box and so on to do this thing and to achieve this materialistic object and to buy this thing and to go this place. It's like, man, sometimes I'm a 22-year-old lad and, like, even I struggle at remembering to have a day to do nothing. Why do we always have to do something? Why do we always have to do something? In life, I always think as a 22-year-old, something that's been crossing my mind is I am constantly trying to figure it out whilst figuring it out. I always reference things to things so it makes sense in my head, but, like, people say life's like a game, which it is, and it's meant to be fun and it's meant to be enjoyable. But in a game, you die on a level and you get to redo that level over and over again so you can get 3 stars or you can complete it 100%. But in this level that we call life, we only get one shot. And whilst we're in the middle of it, we're still trying to figure it out. Like, I don't get to go through everything, figure it out, and then go back. Like, that's on my mind a lot lately. Because as I feel like time's ticking, do I spend too much time on too many things and thinking about things when I should just be doing? And then it builds up and then it's overwhelming and it's, I don't know. And it's the beauty of it. No, like, everyone's got an opinion, but nobody really knows. Nobody knows. And that's why it's important to socialise. And this episode's going to be so funny to watch back because it's going to be like, Ryan, you were talking some hella dang, brother. I've just sounded so American, but yeah. I wrote down on my laptop, like, what are you enjoying? And sometimes I feel like I'm so on task, I forget to enjoy it. You forget to enjoy it because you're so focused on completing it. And by the time you've completed it, it's the next thing. And the next thing to tick. And sometimes you've got to pinch yourself. And I seen a comment today on YouTube saying, someone, I think it was Neva was meant to be on today, she had a band on, which every time she forgot where she was, she lifted the band up and flicked it, and it pinched her wrist, and it reminded her of where she was and where she is. And it made me think, like, I'm so used to doing and completing, I forget where I am and what I'm doing. I'm kind of like a robot, but sometimes I snap in and out of my own emotions. And that's why you'll see me being so vulnerable, because it brings me back to reality of being a human and not a robot. 22, and I've started my therapy sessions. I'm about 4 or 5 sessions in, and I'm really enjoying it. Just having that person, her name's Jan, and just having that person that I can speak to who connects the dots in my life that doesn't have a clue about my life. I think, you know, it's so important to have that unbiased opinion that, like, Jan, I'm going through this, or Jan, I'm doing this, and I just don't know what to do. I feel so lucky I can afford a therapy. You know, it's not cheap, and it's not something that just comes up on the to-do list. But I'm so focused on self-improvement at such a young age because I know how much further it's going to get me in life, in self-development, in me business, in me content creation, personal relationships. It's just, yeah, being going every Monday And the first few sessions were so hard, speaking about things from obviously the past. And it was just so weird speaking about things that you've never spoke to about you've never spoke about any of it to anyone. And the minute it came up, I felt like something was leaving my body. So weird. It was so weird, but it's so helping. And if I could say it to anyone, like I'd say, go and get therapy. If it's affordable and sustainable and it's not going to put you in a spot, go and get therapy. Go and speak. No matter how good you think your life's been, or no matter how good it is at the moment, man, it feels like it's freeing up so much space in my brain. Like, she says to me, Jan, like, you've got a white and black side. You're just straight to the point and so like cutthroat. And that's because your emotions are so full right now. And you just need to release and be a bit more free and not so tense. And we learned that one of my drives at the moment is fear. I never thought I was scared ever in my life of anything. And I'll always do anything. And that I still do live by that. But she said to me, you've got so much fear. And she's so right. There was so much fear inside me that I didn't even know about. I don't know what that fear is completely yet, but we've touched on a few points, and I think it's the fear of people leaving me, maybe. The fear of not being enough. Not being enough, man. Are you enough? If we were enough, would we do what we do all day, every day? What is being enough? Is being enough getting the biggest mansion, the biggest car, loads of money in the bank, you know, being financially free? Is that being enough? Or is that being enough for others? So you're feeling like, you know, are you doing that for you or are you doing that for others? I think one of the most self-serving things I've got right now in my life, and it is quite selfish, but it's succeeding so much, being able to be enough for others. Giving shit away. Giving what I earn away. Being enough for others. Giving myself away. Giving me away. Maybe that's why I like the public so much. Yeah, it's selfless, but it's so selfish because I get to make that person happy for no matter what the time it is. If it's 10 seconds, 1 minute, it's that moment of being enough. In that person's life, I get to be enough for that small amount of time, but I also get to leave a positive impact, which makes me feel enough. It's so interesting. And this is what speaking the mind freely is like. Just riddles off into madness. If you ever sit there and ask yourself questions like what really matters? I was reading a book not long ago and it was like, the only things that matter are what you came on this earth with. Your body, your mind, your family, your friends, you. You're the only thing that matters. Yet we're raised up in a society to think money, cars, materialistic things, house, job are the most important things. Like, is that a play? Is that, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I sit here and speak about some serious things, but it's so important to just not take it so serious. And this is where I go with the fact that, like, figuring it out. Whilst you're figuring it out, you're in the middle of it. So as you figure something out, you don't get to go back and relive it whilst figured out. You've got to figure it out whilst figuring it out. That's the most tongue-twisting thing I've ever said in my life. I feel like the podcast guy's going to cry with me. Bro, this, I don't know why I go so deep, but my mind's so deep. I don't know, I think so much about things. People tell me around me that I overthink, but I just think into things so detailed. What's going on in my life right now? We just done a charity match We're filming the podcasts. We're filming alongside Everton. I'm going golf tomorrow. I'm going to go and see my girlfriend. I'm going to go and see my mum and dad and be with them. My mum and dad, man. Where do I begin with them? Honestly, like, I don't know. I think they're my main driving point. I don't know, like, they're just so special. I just think just being the youngest in the family, I've seen it all. I've seen my mum and dad be together, be happy together, spend time together. Seen them work. You know, I've seen everything. And from a young age, I've always had the desire to push so far because of them. Yeah, I feel so insecure and scared. I feel so scared I'm going to lose them before they achieve what I've set out to achieve. They're at the age of 60 now. And sometimes I put immense pressure on myself to succeed in life so I can reward them as much as I can. Recently in my journal, I've been writing that I was waiting for this big moment to be like, Mum, Dad, you're retired. But that's living for the future. So what I've started doing is taking them out for meals, living now, and accepting that they are retired because it's manifested, it's done, and it is coming. I can feel it. But with the victories and the success I'm having now, they can live with me in that. The money I'm earning, the jobs I'm doing, you know, seeing how happy they are when I say to them, I'm doing this, Mum, I'm doing this, Dad. And they're like, wow, son. You know, sometimes it breaks me when I say to them, I'm going to this place, and they're like, Mum, and they're like, wow, that's amazing, we've never been there. And I feel so selfish for going to that place when they deserve it more than me. You know, I see a TikTok meme which says like, they're living their life for the first time too. And I feel like that's why I work so hard, because I want them to live their life too. You know, I've said it to myself plenty of times, I'd sacrifice my life for theirs. But they'd tell me to do the complete opposite. I don't know where this desire comes from, or this obsession to succeed for others. But man, I just have this massive thing that I just want to see them happy. It's such a deep thing inside of me, and you know, sometimes I get a bit scared that I don't want to talk about it too much or speak to my therapist about it, in case I give my body the satisfaction that it's already done. You know, I dream higher than the sky, and I achieve so much that I just keep going. And then from helping everyone around me, including my mum and dad, I've realised it's given that opportunity to others. How do I help other people help others? And that's the journey I'm on, figuring that out, creating fun videos, creating emotional videos, giving money away. Like, Simon Squibb said it recently, and I think Gary Vee says it. To get your dream, help someone else get their dream. And that sat with me so much. No matter like who's in my team, who I give money to, everything. Just do something good. And yet you might look at it saying it's selfish, but I just see the good in the domino effect it'll leave on doing good every day. every day doing something good. What a roller coaster of emotion that last 20 minutes was. On my laptop, I've got, I say we're all gonna die, but I feel so vulnerable at sometimes. What I was mentioning before, this is one of my biggest things, and I'll ever say it on a podcast, and it is what it is. But I speak about my mum and dad because they are my rock, and I don't know how many people can relate to this, but I just love them so much, and I know my mum and dad will watch this, but I just love you so much. I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know what it is, but I just love you so much. Seeing you's happy makes me happy. You know? Yeah. Seeing you's happy makes me happy. And like I said, this isn't no mad call or cry or mad sadness solo episode, but just real life. And hopefully someone who's 16, 17, 15, young, old, middle-aged, whatever it is, this will resonate with someone. Like, just seeing others around you happy makes you happy. But, you know, to switch it up a little bit and go more positive and speak about the good things. How fucking cool is life? Some surreal shit's happening, man. Every day's a dream. Every day's a blessing. I feel like the past 4 years have went so fast. I don't even know what's happened. I don't have a clue what is going on, yet I'm doing everything I've ever wanted to do. Life's like a movie. But sometimes I forget to sit and watch my own movie because I'm not focused on creating the movie. What's going on there, man? What's going on? Speaking about fear before, are you ever scared you don't... Are you ever scared you're not being the best person you can for the other people around you? You're not being a good partner. You're not being a good son. You're not being a good mum or dad. I'm not at that stage just yet. It's so interesting. I dream so high and I achieve so high, yet sometimes I can only do so much. And in that so much, I feel like I'm not the best partner, and I'm not the best son, and I'm not the most present. Yet that's the sacrifice I've come to terms with. That's something I've had to swallow at a young age. I am fighting for the freedom of the people around me and to give the opportunity for others to create that freedom for the people they love. Yeah, I am not spending my freedom with the people I love. This week I was away 4 or 5 times in London, and I am, you know, if I could, all I'd do is sit there with my mum and dad. I'd have a cup of tea, I'd do nothing, and I'd be nothing. Yeah, I'm away from them so much because my purpose and my goal in life is more than me. It's more than my personal needs. How selfish can I be to want something and have something and put what I was put on this earth to do before after that? Such an eye-opener. People pleasing. Sometimes I get told I'm a massive people pleaser. But how do you go about that when you like making people happy? I don't know, man. Today's a Tuesday. You know, it's 8 minutes past 6. We're here filming a pod, being present, being alive. What's going on, man? 10 years from now, Ryan will probably have kids, probably have a family channel. Sometimes I feel like I'm never thinking about the future because I'm so wanting to enjoy today. So much in life to do. Yet it just takes time to do it. Yet you don't feel like you've got enough time to do it all. Are you scared you're not going to do it all in life? Do you feel like you'll do it? What you've set out to do, are you going to do it? Because if you don't do it, that time's going to run up, brother, and time waits for no one. And you're going to be at the end and you're going to sit there and be like, God, why didn't I do it? Why didn't you go for it, run with it, grab it with both hands and fly? Because nothing in this world can stop us. There's so many distractions and so many things put in place to take our time and make us feel worthless. Yeah, we are the most successful beings in this whole entire planet. I feel like we forget how important we are. I feel like we forget how valuable we are as individuals and how unique we are and how original we are. Because there's somewhere at the top power hungry and they want that power and they understand that there's a weakness and there's an attention grab and there's distractions and like you're you. You are you and no one can change that. In your head, you might think you're nervous, you're scared, you're happy, you're so excited, but you're you. And in that head of yours, you can do whatever you want, you can be whatever you want. I say to myself every day, I am the best there is, I am the best content creator in the world, I am the best at public interviewing, because you are. Say I am, and whatever comes after them, you are. Believe it. You cannot do nothing. You can do everything. And I don't even know if that makes sense, but do you get what I'm saying? Nothing in this world you cannot do. I was speaking to Ben, filmed him the other week, Ben Gallagher, and I said to him, there's nothing in this world you cannot do. And he said, what's the difference between that and delusional? I said, it's not being delusional. It's the principle of being able to think you can do anything you want. I am the best astronaut in the world if I really wanted to be, but I don't want to be that. I am just telling my brain nothing in this world is not possible. I can achieve, I can succeed, I can absolutely win in anything I put my mind to. I am invincible, and so are you. You just need to believe it. And I feel like that's what gets me so far and gets me in these positions, because I believe in myself. I believe in me. Do you believe in you? That's the question. When things get shitty and stuff's going wrong, do you believe in you? Do you put all the chips on the table on you? If you're a betting man or woman, do you bet on yourself? I do. I believe in you. So why don't you? No matter what anyone tells me, positive or negative, I am powerful. I am confident. I am me. And the more you believe it and the more you say it and the more you become delusional and obsessed about how boss you are as a person, how unique, how different, you start to fall in love with yourself. You start to look inwards instead of outwards. It feels so good because everything starts to make sense. You don't question how, you just know it's happening. Your confidence always goes up. Your self-belief rises. You start to become more like you. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. And yeah, I'm 22 and you might be like, he's chatting shite. Well, yeah, welcome to the Still Talking pod, where we're honest and we've rocked up, and there's no guest. There's just Still Dog, Still Rai. Like, man, there's so much in this world to do, Still Gang. Don't sit there and beat yourself up about the smallest thing. You know, we're this little thing on this little big planet, and we can be anything we want. Anything. You picture it, you name it, you can be it. That's how I feel about myself, and that's how I want you to feel about yourself. I have shit days. You have shit days. We all have shit days. It's normal. It's so normal to have shit days. But how fast can you turn shit into chocolate ice cream and lick it? That's how I think of life. You know, no matter what comes your way, you are invincible and you can deal with it. No matter how bad it is, this time too shall pass. It'll pass. No matter how bad it is, think of the worst thing in your life and it'll pass. Because time waits for no one, and you will get over it, and you will learn from it, and you will evolve from it. And that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of life, man. This Red Bull tastes like greatness. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing being lonely in a room, speaking to a mic. You know, maybe we do one of these lives one day where you just talk back to me. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. 2025 coming up. Last push of the year. This pod will be out probably like in mid-December-ish, late December. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what's coming up? Everton, Liverpool. I've just been asked to go on TNT. TNT Sports. I've been asked to go on the broadcast with Rio Ferdinand. You know, Phil Jagielka, the last derby at Goodison. I've been asked to go and do that. A young lad from Crocky, working class, creating everything for myself, Still Gang. And I've just been asked to go on TNT, one of the biggest broadcasters in the world. Been asked to go on the show, interview fans. Might even get makeup put on me. Might wear smart clothes. And that's what I'm saying about believing in yourself. I've just been to Vegas, Paris, and Manchester for UFC. I got sent out there to do my job because I believe in myself. I work alongside the club. I support since the day I came out my ma's belly, because it was a C-section. Because I believe in myself. Nothing is not possible. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. 22. I've done that. But there's so much more to do. Yeah, I don't feel fulfilled. Succeeding so much and doing so much, yet I don't feel it's enough. And it goes back to, are you enough? And what makes me feel enough? I don't know. Like, it's being enough. Working so hard and getting successful in a job, in a career, and building something and creating something with a meaning. Or just being enough, going home and being a good partner and being present and giving all your energy and being there for that person in that moment. And, you know, learning to do things. And I don't know why I don't feel enough, but I don't prioritize that feeling right now because I prioritize others. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay, prioritizing others. It's not a bad thing, because it does make me feel good too. I mean, it just raises the why. But that's okay. I'm okay with putting others before myself. I don't know if that's a healthy thing. Don't know if my therapist will shout at me. But I feel okay with that. I feel comfortable with that. Comfort. The comfortability of like just sitting there and thinking you've achieved everything and thinking you've worked hard enough to just sit there for a day and do nothing. But comfort is the killer. Oh my God, being comfy is great until you're digging your own grave, mate. I think comfort's such a dangerous thing. For you to be comfy, it invites so much room for... Yeah, it just invites so much room. I don't even know what the word is. But being comfy, I don't know. I feel like I've got used to being uncomfortable so much. That's my new comfort. Being uncomfortable. Being in the deep end. Being around people who are more successful than me. Being next to people who are smarter than me. Being next to people who don't like me. Being constantly uncomfortable. Speaking about killers, comparison. Comparing yourself to others is the thief of joy. And I know it's cliche, but I don't care because it's so true. If you compare yourself, you are never ever going to be happy. Ever. And I stand by that because I can be guilty of it sometimes. I can do the biggest and the best thing in my world, yet I'll compare it to someone on social media and it'll take away my joy like that. So fast and so sudden, it's gone. And that's why comparison's the thief of joy. And if I could give any advice in this 22-year-old, successful, small yet large thinking brain, don't compare yourself, man. Everyone's different. Everyone's going through it in their own way. You know, they might seem like they've got it going right because it's easy. I can go on my phone now and go and smile and upload that and everything looks like it's perfectly fine. Yet you could be going through so much. Don't let social media allow you to think perfection is everyone else's lives because that's how it looks. But it's not the truth. It's not the truth at all. There's so many things going on in people's heads. And this brings me back to the socializing. We're so quick to social media. Yet we're so slow to socializing. Sometimes we're trying to be something we're not. But that's okay. It's just identifying like what we actually want to be. And not living your life through someone else's eyes. Like stop living through someone else's eyes of how they want you to be. Start being you. Start feeling and doing the things and breathing and completing things that you want to do. Not something someone else wants you to do. All of this goes back to welcome to Still Talking. God, these solo episodes, man. It's romantic and energetic and sad and flirtatious at the same time. It's so interesting. I'll probably never upload this, but I'll upload it as soon as I get it. That's how I feel about these solo episodes. I'm so vulnerable yet so hopefully relatable. You know, because Jan calls me interesting. But man, is there anyone out there? Do you listen to this and think, Raj on some shit here, he knows? You know, how do we get to a stage where we feel comfortable and we feel enough? We're not comfortable to a point where we're lazy and we're not achieving and we're not succeeding. To a place where we feel like we can take a step back and breathe and be present and be enough for your partner and be enough for your family and still do something to a point where you've got a purpose. So interesting. You know, people always ask me like, how have you become friends with this person? And how have you talked to this person? And how have you got their number? And it's like, people. Like this way, like at the end of the day, we all piss and shit. No matter who you are, we all lick the yogurt lid. We all lick our spoon after a Bosch yogurt. We all butter our toast. We all put the tea bag in the mug when we want a cup of tea. We all sleep. You know, we're humans, man. Like, today's technology and today's social media has took us so much away from each other. We put people so far up, and it's okay to do that, because it's nice to look at role models and nice to think of people as, oh, I can get that. But it's also like, man, like, everyone's the same. No matter if you're notable, no matter if you're successful, no matter if you're rich, we're all humans. Just say hello. Just talk to someone when you're next in the street and you see someone and you want to talk to them. Go up and say hello. Go and be a human with another human. It's okay to not know a person's name, but what's not okay is wanting to know that person's name and not going to ask, what's the name? Go and be a human. Go and talk. Go and speak what's on your mind. Go and do that poetry night. Go and do that podcast. Go and speak to that girl or boy who you fancy. You know, send that message. Say, I want to take you on a date. Go and tell that person how much you adore them. Text them right now as you're watching this episode, for whoever's watching it. I love you. I appreciate you. I want you in my life more. Because, man, we just never know when that moment or that opportunity is gone. Does anyone really, like, what tomorrow brings? You might have it scheduled and you might have it in the calendar. But, man, not to put fear into people's lives, but you go to sleep and you hope you're going to wake up. So just do it, man. Nike Best Dad sponsored this podcast, by the way, me saying just do it. Just do it. Just send the text, man. Send it. FaceTime that person. Fuck grudges. Fuck grudges. Fuck hate. Fuck every single bit of it, man. All of it. Because it's like, oh, God. Imagine getting to that age and going, why didn't I speak to her? Why didn't I speak to him? Why didn't I message my brother? Why didn't I tell him I love them? That too late feeling is a much higher price than the embarrassment or the awkwardness of just going up to that person, of just sending that text. That's such a more expensive cost. But that's what today's world is. That is what today's world is. Distractions, social media, brain rot. That's what it is. And yet, no matter how much I play the game, of course I'm on social media. You're watching this on social media. I try and be as human as I can in today's robotic world. How long are we on? 47 minutes of me talking to a camera on my own. Do you know how beautiful that is?
I'm impressed.
Do you reckon?
Aye.
I'm just fucking freeballing it, you know. My mind's like so, like, it's like a brain, like a box of, I don't even know what it's like. Don't want to speak negative about my mind. That's one more thing I want to mention. The people around me in my life, I tell them to not speak negative about themselves, even if they're joking. Because what you think and what you say, you are. And that's so important and so easy to fall into that trap of speaking negative about yourself. But that's no joke. You are a temple. You are an absolute kingdom and empire of abundance. So never joke negatively about yourself. You know, it's fun having a laugh sometimes and taking the piss out of each other. But man, why would you ever speak down to yourself? Your brain knows no difference. The universe, manifestation, it knows no difference between positive and negative. So as soon as you notice yourself being negative to yourself or to your situation or to anything around you, try and identify it and try and get on it so fast you can change it to a positive. I think that's such a key lesson in my life. Like today, the guest let me down, but I changed it into a positive as quick as possible. Because I could open up and be vulnerable with my community. You know, no matter how bad your situation is, no matter how bad it is, try and find that positive. Try and find that lesson. Try and find the experience you've gained from that negative. Because it'll always, 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 there'll always be a positive. Always. No matter what it is. I'm not going to sit here and come up with situations in my head. Jib that, mate. Jib that. What a beautiful thing. Still Talking's growing. We've filmed a few episodes. We've got a few coming up. This will be out probably after Jamie's, after Adam's, after Paddy's, Aaron's. But who else do we want on here? You know, who do we want on that couch that we can interview and talk to as human beings? And, you know, after brief, who can we get on here and just talk to them and open up and be like, what is happening? How are you? Speak to us. Let's be real. Let's be humans. Let's be humans. I think that's the most important thing about this whole thing for me. As much as it's clips, as much as it's attention, you know, to build the Still Gang. Who can we get on that couch to be a human again, no matter the notability? Open up like a tin of sardines. And that's the beauty of it all, man.